for 12 rounds, non-title, using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. The doctor or the referee can stop the fight. In case the cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim!
Here comes Kirk Johnson, former Canadian Olympian. Knocked out Lou Savarese in 4 rounds. Set himself up for this. Yesterday, in discussing the 260-pound weight allotment that he put on the scale the other day, he had first said, well, I had a lot of clothing on. I don't really weigh that much. Then he turned around and said, well, this time I'm not overtrained. This weight will help me to have more stamina.
I hope he shows more eagerness when he gets into the ring than he seems to have in this slow motion walk to the ring.
Well, he's never been the kind of personality who elicits enormous excitement outside the ring. His big moments in the ring usually come from counter shots fired at odd angles against fighters who underestimate this big man's quickness and slickness.
Now, George, you don't think it's a bad thing that a fighter like a big heavyweight doesn't try to get into perfect shape?
Well, 1 year perfect shape is 1 pound, and next year perfect shape is another pound with the heavyweight. He's got Curtis Coke, who really believes in just counter-punching anyway, so it's not like he needed to lose a lot of weight to do that.
Curtis Coke, the former welterweight star of the 50s and 60s, is the trainer for Kirk Johnson. And here comes Vitali, and you hear the crowd support for this Ukrainian giant who now lives in Beverly Hills and is being idolized on both continents.
We haven't mentioned the crowd much, but it's been blizzarding in New York for 2 days. They were expecting upwards of 11 or 12,000 fans. They've got a crowd here maybe of 10 or 11. Quite amazing given the conditions outside.
And suddenly the arena has erupted with Ukrainian flags, which are light blue and yellow. There are even some Russian flags on display here. The Klitschkos are frequently referred to in American media as being Russian. Their father was a Soviet Air Force colonel in the helicopter division. They were raised in the Soviet Union sports program and really were the last 2 major products off the assembly line of the Soviet Union's amateur boxing machine. Now let's go to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden here in New York City, as it is time for our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Duva Boxing and Vitali Klitschko's promoter, Universum Box Promotions, in association with the undisputed King of Beers, Budweiser, Bets.com, and Pacific Entertainment Group. This special attraction is a heavyweight eliminator for the #1 ranking, sanctioned by the WBC President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor Juan Sanchez, along with the New York State Athletic Commission, the Chairman Ron Scott Stevens. Introducing our judges, scoring the bout from ringside. From Brick, New Jersey, Tom Kaczmarek. From Ardsley, New York, Melvina Lathan. And from Yorktown Heights, New York, Fred Ucci. And our third man to the ring, the referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Arthur Mercante. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the bout you've all been waiting for. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Madison Square Garden, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing black trunks with white trim, hailing from North Preston, Nova Scotia in Canada. He weighed in at 260 pounds even. His fine record stands at 34 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the number 5 ranked heavyweight in the world by the WBC, introducing Kirk Johnson. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, this 12-round main event, wearing black trunks with gold trim, hailing from Kiev, Ukraine. His weight, 250 pounds even. His record stands at 32 wins, 2 losses, 31 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, currently ranked the WBC #1 contender. Please welcome the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Vitali Klitschko. Once again, Arthur Mercante, our referee, now to give instructions.
Good evening, Kirk. Good evening, Vidal. You received your rules early in the night by the New York State Athletic Commission. I want a nice, clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
Klitschko and his cut man both insist that the cut, that terrible wound over his left eye, has fully healed in 6 months, and that it did not interfere at all in his training. We shall see.
You saw 2 of the great cutmen in the last fight, Jimmy Glenn and Al Gavin. Joe Souza, the man who worked that cut for Vitali in Los Angeles, is also in the upper echelon of boxing cutmen. Kirk Johnson coming in, trying to go for broke with big shots, and Klitschko bangs him straight up the middle with the left hand.
This is not what we were led to believe Johnson would do. Maybe he was just coming out in the first moment to
and
give some
warning. Lands a right hand over the top, straight onto Johnson's chin.
Klitschko should go right for the body. Klitschko, go right for the body. Make him prove that he's in shape with that midsection. And that's what you got to do when you see a guy like that who's normally not in that kind of shape.
Klitschko, as he showed against Lewis, George, doesn't throw many body punches. He's a headhunter.
This is when he should go to the body, because this guy, if he's really out of shape, you got to bring it out of him, make him quit.
Big right hand by Klitschko backs Johnson up into the ropes.
Klitschko even now is aiming at the head. He should be aiming at the body.
Crowd thinks Vitali can get a first-round knockout the way he's been able to land against Johnson. Misses over the top with the right hand. This is an extremely aggressive Vitali Klitschko. Normally, he's much more cautious than this in the early going.
He's got to go to the body. You're not going to be able to hit Kirk Johnson in the head right off.
And there's a good body shot by Johnson. As Johnson tried a big right hand, looping it, Klitschko again stepped in and popped him right up the middle.
This is not classic big punching. This is punching from the rafters.
The good thing about Klitschko, if he keeps the pressure on this guy, make him keep throwing a lot of punches, Kirk Johnson could give out easily. Johnson should be moving a little more, because you don't want to just get hit just because the guy's in front of you.
Does Johnson have an abrasion already by his right eye?
Why is the right eye so red?
I think this comes with the package.
Left hand lands for Klitschko. Bangs Johnson into the corner. Left hand lands again. Good hook.
If you're Klitschko, you don't want to totally disrespect the contender.
Johnson has landed a couple of good-sized body shots. His best offense in the round.
6 months is not enough time for that right eye to heal. Doesn't matter what they say.
Watch behind that head.
There's
a
one
body
right
shot
to the body. When a guy's ducking and dodging, you go to the body to make him start protecting his body, then you can get the head.
Both fighters swung big in round 1. Klitschko landed more. And when we go to Vitali Klitschko's corner, where Fritz Sedunik will speak German, our interpreter is Jens Halling.
You're doing very good. Be careful when he comes with his right. You gotta use. Can you see him when he comes with his right? You gotta use your left. You did very good the last round.
Give him the hard jab. Give him my jab, baby. You all right? You all right? But you want to fight him a little bit now. You got to fight him a little bit. Jab, right hand, hook. Come on, baby. Get up. Use that jab. Use that jab, baby. Come on, Curtis.
We didn't see a lot of Johnson jabbing in round one, so you heard both Curtis Coates and Lou Duva saying, please use the jab. CompuBox numbers were a wipeout. 26 out of 57 for Klitschko. Johnson, 5 out of 38. Johnson, given credit by CompuBox for throwing 23 jabs in the first round, but he only landed 3.
Is Klitschko inviting that big right hand the way he holds his left?
No doubt about it. He's got that hand, and he's bending his knee, which is worse. If you're going to drop your hand, keep your height up high. Stand high on your legs. He's bending his knees and he's dropping his left hand.
There's a big left hand by Kirk Johnson.
Johnson's corner told him to jab. That's not a good idea with this guy's right hand. He'll come over right on top of that jab. Klitschko can get you.
Two extremely experienced boxing men telling Johnson to jab, and George says that's not a good idea.
Not a good idea. You want a combination and get out of the way, hold him whenever you can, but don't exchange jabs. He'll get you. It's like Bob Gibson coming off that mound with that straight right hand. There it is, see? It hurts.
Dropping the right hand over the jab, just as George Foreman said he would.
You got to move. Left, right.
Klitschko just missed with a right hand that might have knocked Johnson into next week.
Klitschko's got to forget that he was in a fight with Lennox Lewis. This is a totally different opponent. Respect him in another way.
Italy landing a good left to the body, missing with the right hand. But Johnson shying away from the right hand and giving Vitali another chance.
Klitschko is waiting for that left hand to just drop.
Vitali fighting with tremendous confidence, chasing Johnson into the corner and pounding with the right hand. Crowd goes nuts. Got him again. Stunned with the left. Johnson's in trouble. Big trouble.
4, 5, 6, 7. Walk to me, Kurt.
Nobody has ever done this to Kirk Johnson in 12 years as a pro.
You want to see a heavyweight destroyer? Vitali Klitschko wants to be your man. He wants to be your man right now. Big right hand lands again. Johnson having trouble fighting back. Down goes Johnson.
That's it.
Arthur Mercante's going to stop the fight. That is it.
That whale was just harpooned.
Big time. And that is a great performance for Vitali Klitschko.
I like it when they knocked him out. There's no question from the judges, no referee interference, clean knockout. That's the way I scored him.
Now we have to wonder, how does Lennox Lewis see this? Does he see it as an opportunity for a major pay-per-view event? Or does he see it as an opportunity to go quietly into the sunset with his career?
What a turnaround.
Right there before, and he let the fight get away. It seems tonight he was thinking, I'm not letting it get away. I'm going for a knockout. Kirk Johnson.
What an aggressive performance by Vitali. He sensed that this was his moment, and he seized it. Tremendous.
Kirk Johnson, he knocked out the barbecue ribs.
Well, the year began as badly as possible for the Klitschko family, as younger brother Vladimir, considered the more gifted of the two fighters, crumbled in a heap in 2 rounds against Corey Sanders in Germany. Now Vitali Klitschko helps to erase some of that memory as he folds Kirk Johnson up.
I like it because he was brave enough to come back in 6 months after that eye is not even healed properly and take the fight to his man.
You think he won some fans in Los Angeles? Imagine how many fans he's won here.
He's won New York now, the big house.
Well, here are the replays, and we'll show you Vitali Klitschko's unrestrained destruction of Kirk Johnson. There's the left hook that started it.
Oh, and he keeps throwing shots. Generally, big guys wait. I didn't hurt you. He keeps throwing punches until the referee breaks him up.
This is the way George Foreman used to finish opponents off.
That's what you try to do. You get a guy hurt, why play around? Go for it. He see this guy's retreating, why let him off the hook? Jab.
Good jab.
Waits for a good right hand. Body shot. Stays right on him, doesn't matter what. And he cleaned his house. Get up, Kirk. Right hand right on top of that left.
And from the way he fought, you can once again put to rest any questions about Vitali Klitschko's heart and bravery.
Oh, he was brave tonight. He got a contender and charged at him.
He was here to storm Kirk Johnson, and he did it. Let's go to Timmy Lennon Jr. for the particulars on the second round knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 54 seconds in round number 2. A referee in charge, Arthur Mercante, stops the contest. The